think. Dude, we're all crazy from Abyss is so good. Hey guys, I want to get an updated Abyss video. I wasn't expecting to make another Abyss video, but they did nerf tier 60.5's in the latest patch. So I wanted to make an updated video just to show you, what's the new best thing to do with Abyss. And the new best thing, no surprise, is going back to tier 17 and doing tier 17 Abyss. So I already did a tier 17 Abyss video, but I just want to make an updated video for those unaware or like not sure what to do after the nerf. Tier 17 is better than the new tier 16.5s, but tier 60.5 self-rolled is actually still quite good. It just takes more chaos to self-roll tier 60.5s, and it is less lucrative than tier 17s. I do recommend the Fortress map as well, but I did a small test here, only 11 maps, not a big sample size. But I did multiple tier 17 Abyss last week, like over 100 maps, so all of this data is more or less pretty accurate from what I've seen. As you can see here, we dropped 19 Royal Divines, 22 Royal Exalts, and 8 Containments. A little bit unlucky on the Divines, probably a little bit lucky on Containments, because we dropped, I think, like 40 Discernments, so we probably should have dropped like 6 or 7 Containments instead. But, lack of divines make up for that. 3 keys, 6 battle boxes, you can see all the stuff here, but very, very good results. It was 11 maps in an hour 32 minutes. Now it's not 50 divines an hour because this does not count the map cost. The map cost was roughly 1.1 divines per map. So take out like 12 divines here. It's still over 40 divines an hour in net profit. And do keep in mind, I took out all the bad scarabs from my filter. So this scarab number is more or less accurate. I'm not showing the extremely, low cost scarabs anymore. So this scarab price should be pretty accurate. And you can also just always sell on Fosses. Fosses always gets the most amount of profit when selling scarabs. I do get that question quite a bit. So yeah, tier 17 maps is new best Abyss meta. Tier 60.5 is still okay if you can't handle tier 17, but tier 17 will result in a lot more profit. The maps are a bit longer. So this is how I run my maps. I'm looking for high singular more scarabs or a mixture of more scarabs and more currency. Preferably, I do like the mixture. So this one's 100% more on both. This one's 179 currency, 70% scarabs, pretty ideal. This one is high more scarabs and more currency, stuff like this. I do think the mixture of both is the most ideal. It's what I've got the best results with. I also do currently use the average chisel. This is the currency chisel. At least at the current price, I think this is very well worth it at 30 to 40 chaos. If this goes to 50 plus chaos, then you may want to rethink this. But I would say at least 30 to 40 chaos, this is worth using in my opinion. 50 plus chaos, don't really know. 60 plus chaos, probably not. But yeah, this is very well worth doing. It does increase your returns quite a bit. In terms of scarabs, I have 1 Abyss Scarab, 3 Risk, and 2 Edifice. To make it a little bit easier, you could go 2 Abyss, but I do find the 3 Risk a little bit better than the 2 Abyss. You could also go another Risk instead of Abyss, but I personally found the 5th Abyss is a little bit better. In terms of Atlas Tree, I'll have this link down below, of course, but essentially it's pretty similar to old Atlas Tree. We're just dropping all the map nodes because we're not farm maps anymore. So 0 map nodes taken. You can take Singular Focus if you want. That's up to you. But yeah, besides that, it's just all Scarab nodes and map effect and Abyss nodes. Nothing special here. Optional, you can take up the Gaze to get 6 modifier Abyss jewels. That is up to you. And then of course, block what other Scarabs is relevant at the time. This always changes. I'm not even sure this is the most accurate and best option right now. It might be. But yeah, this pretty much always changes day by day. Depends on Scarab prices. Yeah, I'll have the Atlas Tree link down below. Maps are, like I said, mix of scarabs and more currency. I do use average chisel on every single map, and you do want to roll your maps for very, very high scarabs and currency. This is very important. If you're not rolling your maps properly, you will not get the best results back. Also, I always use 1 Delirium Orb. This is optional, but it does add profit to your map, so I do recommend it. I think that's about it. Like I said, I've done like 100 plus of these maps last week in tier 17. I already know it's very good, but I got this question of quite a bit. I wasn't expecting to make another Abyss video. But because tier 16.5s actually got nerfed, I suppose I should just make this video just to clarify. Yeah, tier 17 Abyss is still very, very strong and will be for the rest of the league. You self-sustain all your scarabs. You don't self-sustain the map. The maps are still pretty cheap. At the time of recording, the Fortress was only 50 chaos when I brought it. So if it's still around 50 chaos, even like 60, 70, 80 chaos, doesn't really matter. This strat is going to be good for the rest of the league. Anyway, that's about it.